And he kicks and fires, and that's upstairs. Ball 2, strike 1 to the Brush outfielder. And Siebers delivers. Swing and a miss. Challenged him down the middle at the knees, and the count is level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here to Carson Rule. Bee Diggers will have their starters back, the ones that have been on that international club trip to Europe. They'll be available Tuesday. And that is a call strike 3. Fastball right there down the middle, just above knee level, and Carson Rule strikes out. There's 2 down. 2 down for Ben Garrett. You can follow us on Twitter at KSIR Sports, as well as the KSIR Sports Facebook page. And again, this was a solid pitcher in his junior season, and they have saved Siebers for this game instead of throwing him yesterday against Sterling. And the pitch, and that is low. Here to Ben Garrett. He had a key bunt that got things going for the Bee Diggers against Fort Morgan. And the 1-0 pitch right there for a strike. Took something off that fastball. Thigh high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Garrett, a slightly open stance. That means that back foot is closer to the plate than the front foot. And he takes it right there. Boy, perfect pitch. Down the middle at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here to Ben Garrett. Right-handed hitter for Brush. And only a sophomore. And Siebers fires. And that bounces in on the breaking ball. And the count levels at 2-2. Temperature in the 40s to begin this game. Should get up to about 52, 53 degrees. Maybe by game's end. And the 1-2-2. Swung on and chopped slowly up the third base side. The pitcher is going to field it. Siebers fires to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning as the Bee Diggers go down here in Loveland. All right, let's head to the bottom of the first. The Bee Diggers do not score, and Resurrection Christian is coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran back at Loveland as we head to the bottom of the first inning. And here's the starting lineup for Resurrection Christian. Batting first, the center fielder, Zach Cook. Shortstop, Jackson Romero hits second. The third hitter is the left fielder, Andrew Iwanicki. Pitcher Hayden Siebers bats fourth. The second baseman, Ethan Wheeler, hits fifth. Batting sixth is Sawyer Shepard. He's the third baseman. The first baseman, Zach Parrish, hits seventh. Cooper Strong, the right fielder, hits eighth. And Christian Cox, the DH, will be batting ninth. Now, Coach Fergus, right before the game, set his defense. And so we're actually making these adjustments right now. Well, we know Bryson Woolridge at first. Looks like Jade Queen at second, Ben Garrett at third. The shortstop is Gunnar Guzman. And the Bee Diggers have had their issues defensively in the infield. Josiah Henry in left, Carson Rule in center, and Hunter Ludgate is in right. And a pitch from the left-hander, Justin Griffith, is inside. Colin Cole, of course, behind the plate. Although he didn't start there in the last game. Lefty against lefty here. Griffith did not allow an earned run against Sterling less than a week ago. That change up there for a strike at the knees. 1-1. He's establishing himself as a solid pitcher for Brush. Struggled in the opener against Valley, but again, lost 5-2 without an earned scoring against Sterling. And the offering. And the breaking ball is upstairs. Ball two, strike one to Zach Cook. The Bee Diggers were set down in order. Colin Cole out to talk to his pitcher. They might have been crossed up signal-wise. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check that, 2 balls and 1 strike. Cole now lays down the sign, and Griffith delivers. Swung on and fisted foul out of play off to the left. That would have been ball 3. That ball was riding in on the left-handed hitter. And Cook was committed to swinging. So it's 2-2 with Romero on deck. Justin Griffith holds that glove up high and then repositions it. He's got a slow delivery to the plate. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball is lifted down the left field line. The third baseman, Garrett, behind the bag, makes the catch. And there's 1 down as Griffith had Cook off balance. 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. or Jackson Romero. He's only a sophomore, and he was a starter as a freshman. Good-looking shortstop here for the Cougars. Right-handed hitter. Griffith trying to match what Hayden Sievers did at the top of the first inning, retiring the side in order. You can hear the wind kick up a bit, and that fastball's down and in. Hopefully that will not be a recurring theme in this game. 1 ball and no strikes. And Romero digging back in. The pitch swung on and grounded foul into the Digger dugout on the third base side. And the count is level at 1-1. Yeah, Brush and Fort Morgan are two teams who had third base dugouts. A lot of them have their dugouts on the first base side, like Resurrection Christian. 1-1. Swung on and lifted into left center field, and that might find a gap to his left, and reaching out and making the catch is Henry. There's 2 down. Yeah, that is Henry out, I believe. Or is that Ludgate? I'll check that. No, that's check that. That's Ludgate in left field. So they switched them around. So Ludgate closes in on the baseball for the catch. And there's 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Wine and offering. Swung on. That is popped up on the left side. The third baseman, Garrett, is going to make the grab. And that retires Andrew Iwanicki. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Griffith. Let's head to the second. No score in Loveland between Brush and Resurrection Christian. It's a 1-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the second inning. Brush and Resurrection Christian are scoreless. And the B-Diggers will be sending up the cleanup hitter Gunnar Guzman, who had a huge game against Fort Morgan, an RBI single and a home run in the 7-5 win against the right-hander Hayden Sievers. And now you can certainly hear that wind kick up a bit, the pitch. And that fastball's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Gunnar Guzman. And the offering. Swing and a miss late on that one. Way late. The count leveled at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. And the offering. And that is low. Ball 2, strike 1 here to Guzman in the top of the second inning. And the pitch swung on. That is fouled off to the right. Another late swing, but that time he made contact. And the count moves to 2-2. And we record all these games and we upload them to our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube, as well as on Twitter at KSIR Sports and the KSIR Sports Facebook page for later listening. The pitch swung on. That ball is fisted in the air down the right side, and giving chase over there is Cook, the first baseman, but it's out of play. Count remains at 2-2 to Gunnar Guzman, followed by Colin Cole and Hunter Ludgate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the offering. Curveball is chopped off the foot of the hitter, Guzman. So it remains at 2-2. And the thing with Sievers, he throws so many strikes that it's hard to get his pitch count up. In the opening frame, he threw 14 pitches, that's good for him. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss and a fastball that was way, way above the letters. And it's a strikeout of Gunnar Guzman. Strikeout number 2. And there's 1 down for Colin Cole. Yeah, Sievers is going to rack up these strikeouts because he's that good of a pitcher, regardless of the lineup he's facing. And a pitch to Cole. That's a fastball right down the middle for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Colin Cole has not been pitched to a lot. He's drawn a lot of walks this season. And the offering swung on and foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Lincoln. Threw him a breaking ball. It's 0-2. with one out and the bases empty. We have not seen a base runner on either side yet. The pitch, and that is low. Took something off it. Ball one, strike two. Here to Colin Cole. Now, Cole was 1 for 4 against Fort Morgan on Thursday, and he takes it for a called strike three. He knew it. At the knees, down the middle, and there are 2 down. Strikeout number 3 for Hayden Siebers. And the Bead Diggers might be in a situation where they've got to play some small ball here. They're not making any contact up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Hunter Ludgate, the left fielder. Ludgate has been in the starting lineup recently. He was 0 for 3 on Thursday. The pitch upstairs as well. Ludgate in his limited at-bats, 1 out of 9. 2-0. Siebers has not fallen behind many hitters, and he grooves that in there for a strike. Thigh high in the count. Is it 2 balls and 1 strike? Here to the number 6 hitter for Brush, Hunter Ludgate. Here's the wind and the offering. Swung on and fouled straight back. And he's throwing a lot of fastballs here. Look like 2 seamers, but can't be certain about that. 2-2 with Bryson Wooldridge on deck. Siebers looking for another 1-2-3. And the pitch. That is outside. And it runs full to Hunter Ludgate. Laying down the sign is Lincoln. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right and well out of play. We'll have another full count pitch here coming up to the number 6 hitter for Brush. Hayden Siebers comes home, and that's upstairs. And yeah, that's he was standing at the plate. That is a walk. Yeah, Ludgate didn't know it, but it doesn't matter. He's at first base. That's the first base runner on either side. That'll send up Wooldridge. He had a clutch hit against the Mustangs, driving in a run. 2-step lead for Ludgate. And the offering. That's right down the middle for a strike. No balls and 1 strike through that fastball right to Wooldridge. Again, Ludgate's got some speed over there with a 2-step lead, but Siebers comes to the plate pretty quickly. The offering, that is just a little bit low and away. And the count levels at 1-1. You can find AC Ice at any local grocery or convenience store near you. That's AC Ice. And the pitch swung on and fouled back. Ball 1, strike 2 to Bryson Wooldridge. Sunny day here, slightly windy. Temperature again in the mid to upper 40s. And the offering. Swing and a miss up and in. And Hayden Siebers strikes out the side. Here in the second, the Bead Diggers trying to runner. Let's head to the bottom of the second with a score. Brush nothing, Resurrection Christian nothing. This is Brush Bead Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Right to the bottom of the second we go from Resurrection Christian High School in Loveland. No score between the Bead Diggers and the Cougars. 6 of 7 hitters retired by Hayden Siebers of Resurrection Christian. And Justin Griffith retired the side in order in the bottom of the first inning. And he will now face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Hayden Siebers, Ethan Wheeler, and Sawyer Shepard. And the good thing for Griffith, he threw just 9 pitches in the opening frame. You know, I mentioned at the beginning of the year that anytime you lose 3 senior starters like they did in Fergus, Peterson, and Trent Mount, you're reconstructing the pitching staff, but it's coming around quickly. Ryan Dunker had a very good start 2 weeks ago against Wells Central. And then Ben Garrett in his first varsity start pitched a gem on Thursday, and Justin Griffith was outstanding against Sterling and has had a good first inning here. You could establish those three at the top of the rotation in a wide-open 3A. A wide-open 3A, who knows? The wind and pitch, and that tails inside to the left-handed hitting Hayden Siebers. 1 ball and no strikes. The opposing pitcher for Resurrection Christian, and the offering. Swung on and driven down the right field line. It is twisting foul. Man, that ball was belted, but it is foul. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, Griffith wanted to get that ball in on the right-handed hitter. He got it in enough that the rotation on the baseball drifted it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the second inning, no score. Bee Diggers had a base runner in the second on a walk to Ludgate, and that's it in this game. And Griffith comes home. Swung on and grounded sharply up the middle for a base hit into right center field. Beyond the outstretched Jade Queen, and that's the first hit of the game. And it's Hayden Siebers who delivers. And that'll bring up Ethan Wheeler. Hitting from the right side, there'll be a courtesy runner. Let's see if we can even get that one. That might be Kelly out there. I don't think we got a first name on him. But he's got a 3-step lead, the stretch. Remember, it's a left-hander on the mound, not that easy to run. And the pitch, and that changeup is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee Diggers had not won on this field until 2 years ago, when they won in dramatic fashion on Aaron Williams' RBI single. The offering swung on, grounded left side. Third baseman Garrett to second, and it's a wide throw off the line. And then throwing back to first is Queen. That's short of the target and late anyway. That'll be an error on Garrett, and that's what the Bee Diggers have to avoid. That's been the bugaboo all season, as that throw was up the third base side. Not a good throw there by Garrett, and now it's first and second with nobody out. And that'll send up the number 6 hitter, Sawyer Shepard. Another right-handed hitter. Runners take their leads. And the offering, squaring to bunt and lays it down foul behind the plate. And again, you do have a revamped infield. But even plays like that, he came up with the ball easily. But I think at this point, when you know that you don't have a ton of experience, just get the first out. Just make the easy throw. And there's no doubt they were thinking double play there, and they didn't get 1 out. 0-1. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. Gets away from Cole, but only about a foot behind him. No advance. Excellent all-speed pitch there thrown by Justin Griffith. No balls and 2 strikes. With Kelly at second, Wheeler at first, and not a bunting situation now with 2 strikes and nobody out in the second. Justin Griffith delivers up and away. Put something behind that one. It's 1-2. The Bee Diggers play at home coming up on Tuesday against Platte Valley. That's a 4 o'clock first pitch here on KSIR, as well as KSIR.com. The offering swung on and popped up and out of play off to the right. Again, went with that changeup diving down in the zone. And it's still 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Shepard. No score in the bottom of the second inning, but Resurrection Christian is threatening with 2 on and nobody out. Griffith looks back. The pitch, that one bounces in, blocked by Cole. Nice job, because the runner, Kelly, was thinking about taking off. But Colin kept it right in front of him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, it'd be nice here if there was either a strikeout or pop-up, even a grounder to third, and Garrett's got the bag to his right that he could step on. Critical batter here for Griffith to retire. And a balk has been called. And now Coach Fergus wondering what that's all about. Even Griffith is not sure what he did there. I wonder if he had the ball out of his glove, then put it in his glove and took it out of his glove or something. I don't know. But nonetheless, it's second and third with nobody out. And now Sawyer Shepard, a big opportunity to drive in the game's first run. as we've had a base hit, an error, and now a balk. And a 2-2 count here to Shepard. And the wind goes away and then comes back, as it is right now in pretty much full force. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch swung on and lifted down the right side. The right fielder, Henry, along the line. And the ball is going to land right on the line for a base hit. He misread that initially. 1 run is going to score. And the trail runner advances to third. Henry had trouble with that baseball, landed right on the line. And it's 1-0 Resurrection Christian gives Shepard an RBI double. That was certainly drifting away from him, but it didn't seem that he read it right off the bat. And then again, Henry's been playing left field, so it's an adjustment for him. Here's the southpaw hitting Zach Parrish, and he takes a fastball up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the Beat Diggers have to play some defense because Resurrection Christian is threatening to put up a crooked number here in the second. And the offering. Swung on and grounded right side. Second baseman Queen to his left has got it. Sidearms to first for the out. Scoring is Ethan Wheeler. Shepard to third. The RBI ground out by Parrish. And the Cougars now lead 2-0. But again, the Beat Diggers at least got an out there. Here is Cooper Strong, the right-handed hitting DH. Actually, Cox is the DH on deck. And the pitch is there for a strike. Letter high at 0-1. Strong, the right fielder today for Resurrection Christian. Out of the stretch with a man at third and 1 down. The offering. Swung on and lifted down the left field line. To his right is Ludgate. Along the line, makes the grab. The runner tags. The throw towards the plate will be cut off by Garrett. The throw and scoring is going to be Sawyer Shepard. Garrett had to cut that off. There wasn't enough mustard on that one, but he would have scored anyway. The ball was hit deep enough by Cooper Strong. And on the sac fly, Resurrection Christian now leads by a score of 3-0. And the pitch is a fastball for a strike here to Christian Cox, the DH. So the Beat Diggers have some work to do against a very talented right-hander, Siebers, trailing 3-0. And the offering, swung on and grounded right side. To his left is Jade Queen. He's got it, and he flips to first for the out. And Resurrection Christian is retired in the second. However, the Cougars have a productive inning as they scored 3 runs on 2 hits. There was a Beat Digger error, and the bases were left empty. Let's head to the third. Resurrection Christian leads at home over the Brush Beat Diggers 3-0 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. The Beat Diggers trail the Resurrection Christian Cougars 3-0 in Loveland. John Beltran back with you, and the Beat Diggers will be sending up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Jade Queen, Josiah Henry, and Justin Griffith. Against right-hander Hayden Siebers, who's been a machine with 4 strikeouts, struck out the side in the second. The wind and pitch. That's there for a strike on the outer half at the knees with a fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Here to Jade Queen. Wind and offering, and that is low on that changeup 1-1. Boy, solid mechanics here from Siebers. That's why he pitched so much last year. Lines up on the left side of the mound. And the 1-1. That's low. Same pitch, same location, same result. Ball 2, strike 1. Here to Jade Queen. And the pitch. Low again with a fastball. 3-1. To the opening hitter for Brush. In the top of the third inning, Resurrection Christian leads 3-0. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Tied him up inside with a fastball. It's 3-2. 3-2 here to Queen. And the offering. That is low. Boy, that's a good take there by Queen. That was close. But he knew where the strike zone was. He walks, and that'll bring up Josiah Henry. Henry, the freshman, the only freshman in this starting lineup for Brush, is a terrific athlete. And the pitch swung on and lifted foul, not a play off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. The Bank of Colorado is a proud supporter of local high school sports and academics. And the runner goes, swung on and fouled straight back. They're not just a bank in Colorado, they're the Bank of Colorado. Let me tell you, Queen got a great jump there. He got a terrific jump. He would have stolen the bag, but Henry had a pitch to hit. No balls and 2 strikes. 2-step lead. And the offering up and in with a fastball. And if somehow you can get Siebers to throw close to 60 pitches by the end of the third, then you got a shot to get him out of there early, but he's only at 45 right now. Runner takes off. There's a step-off throw to first. That's going to be a steal for Queen as the throw was made to first and to second, but Queen was already halfway down the line when Siebers turned and threw to first. So even though it wasn't the best base running there by Jade Queen, he's got another steal. He had 2 in a game earlier this season. Runner in scoring position. Henry awaits the pitch. Ooh, that ball hit him. Got him on the left shoulder. It was like it hit a brick wall. It deflected off of Henry. It's like he barely felt it. He is a strong kid. That'll bring up Justin Griffiths. So the Bee Diggers have some life here in the third, even though they haven't generated a hit in the game, trailing 3-0. But they have the same situation Resurrection Christian did in the second with first and second and nobody out, and the Cougars were able to capitalize and score 3 runs. Griffith popped to left his first time up. Laying down the sign is Lincoln. Runners take their leads. And the pitch. That tails inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Big day of sports with the Bee Diggers playing, and now wonder if there was a mix-up in the signs there. Coach Valles talking to Griffith. Valles coaching at third. Kevin Fergus, the head coach, at first base. Bee Digger baseball, Final 4 today. Rockies play against the Diamondbacks as the Diamondbacks are actually looking for the 3-game sweep after beating the Rockies last night 9-8. We'll have that Rockies game, 5:30 start on 1010 KSIR, and that pitch is up and away with a fastball. And all of a sudden, Siebers, 2 balls and no strikes here to Griffith. He's got to groove one in. Let's see if Griffith is swinging away. The pitch squaring to bunt. It's outside. Runner going to third. The throw. And not even covering over there was Shepard, but he had a great jump, and Queen has another stolen base. Now the trail runner, Henry, did not take off, but that really doesn't matter. It's 3-0. And if you're Griffith, you're taking at least a pitch here, if not 2. Siebers delivers. That's outside. And it's a walk, and the bases are loaded without the benefit of a hit. And here's Carson Rule, who struck out in his opening at bat. Now the Bee Diggers with a legitimate threat here in the third, down by 3. And Hayden Siebers will operate out of the windup. The infield is playing in. I find that surprising. It's only the third inning, and they're up by 3. Fouled straight back. And now, well, I thought we were going to have a visit to the hill. Yeah, I don't know why you're playing the infield in. Why not play double play depth? You're up 3-0, but they know more than I do. Swung on. That ball is popped up down the right side. Cooper Strong, the right fielder. They might not get to it, and it's going to be foul. Boy, that ball twisted foul. There were 3 fielders converging on the ball, but it twisted just outside the line. And now it's a no ball, 2-strike count here to Carson Rule, the Bee Diggers center fielder. Rule, Garrett, and Guzman, the next 3 hitters. Somebody's got to deliver for Brush, trailing 3-0 in the third. Hayden Siebers out of the windup. And the offering. That is a called strike 3. No doubt about that one. Right down the middle. Carson Rule has struck out for a second time. 5 strikeouts for Siebers, and there's 1 down. And now Garrett's got to come through here. Garrett grounded to the mound And now they're at double play depth. Wind and pitch. That's low with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the wind and pitch. Swung on and twisted down the right field line. That could be trouble. Strong, the right fielder giving chase. It's going to drop for a base hit. Racing towards home plate is Queen. He will score. The other runners advance 1 base. That's a Texas League RBI single for Ben Garrett. And the Bead Diggers are on the board. It's 3-1. Resurrection Christian here at the top of the third. And that was a similar ball that Rule hit, except that one wasn't as close to the line as the one Rule hit, which went foul. That one probably was about 10 feet inside the line. Gunnar Guzman struck out in his first at bat. And he will now step in for Brush. At third is Henry. Griffith at second. Garrett at first. Here's the wind and pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and in. It is 0-1. Colin Cole waits to hit next. Siebers out of the windup. Runners have extensive leads out there for Brush. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball's driven down the right field line, but that's twisting foul. Yep. A late swing. Boy, hit that solidly, but now it's 0-2. Looked like he tried to shorten that swing, but Siebers is bringing some heat. No balls and 2 strikes. And now the hitter's got the pitcher has the advantage, up 0-2 here. Laying down the sign is Lincoln. And the offering, and that's inside. Back Guzman off the plate, it's 1-2. The Bead Diggers have an RBI single from Ben Garrett moments ago for their lone run, looking for at least a second, maybe a third. And the offering, that is low. Took something off of that. Low and away, 2-2. And now Siebers will be throwing his 60th pitch of the game. So the Bead Diggers have got him to that level and to that mark. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is grounded to the shortstop. Romero, it goes off his body. He's got no play. A run scores. Henry steps on home plate. That'll be an RBI for Guzman, but it is an error as well on Romero. And the Bead Diggers now trail 3-2. So that's 3 RBIs in 2 games for Guzman despite the error. Here's Colin Cole, who struck out looking his first time up. Here's the wind and pitch. Swing and a miss through the fastball right by him on the inner half. It's 0-1. So Brush is right back in the game with a couple of runs, and they still have the bases loaded and 1 out in the third. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss. Boy, he's got to shorten up that swing. That's a big swing for missing those pitches. 0-2 here to Colin Cole. The Bead Digger catcher awaits. Swung on, and that's driven foul down the right side. Good job. A nice adjustment there by Cole. He just wanted to poke it somewhere. And the right side is the place to do it. When you're swinging and missing, you try to go the other way just to get yourself going. But he's still in a jam here at 0-2. Out of the windup. And the pitch up and in. Threw him a breaking ball that nearly broke right into the left shoulder of Cole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the wind that disappears and comes back. Colin Cole awaits. And the pitch. That is a ball just outside. Man, that barely missed. But Colin's got a sharp eye there. It's 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Colin Cole. And the wind and the pitch. Swung on and foul straight back. Count remains at 2-2. Here to Colin Cole. Henry at third, Garrett at second, Guzman at first. And the pitch. Swung on and hit off the foot of Cole. Boy, he's rolling all over the ground there. That one got him good. But he's tough. This guy's a wrestler and a football player. He is limping along the third baseline. Got him on the right foot. And that stings. Oh, no, it's his left foot or left ankle. So it remains at 2-2. They've lifted up part of his pant leg. And that one stung him good. He's going to try to walk this off. Hopefully he can stay in the game. I mean, that's a critical player, not only a senior, but a catcher. Yeah, he's going to walk that off. Or attempt to walk it off here and stay in the game. One of the tougher players Brush has ever had. 2 balls and 2 strikes with the bases loaded. The Bee Diggers trail 3-2 in the top of the 3rd inning. And Colin Cole should be able to stay in the game. He just wants to make sure that he feels a little bit better going back into the batter's box here against Hayden Siebers, who really tried to jam him with that breaking ball. By the way, Siebers approaching 70 pitches, so the Bee Diggers have accomplished something not only by scoring runs in the inning, but working up this pitch count.
Be confident.
2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat here to Colin Cole. And the offering, swing and a miss. Oh, he swung at a ball up at the letters. And Cole strikes out for the 2nd time. Strikeout number 6 for Siebers. The last 5 Bee Diggers have been retired via strikeout, 2 down in the 3rd inning. Hunter Ludgate walked his first time up. And the pitch up and in with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, the bases are loaded for Brush, trailing 3-2 in the 3rd. In Loveland, the pitch. That's down and away with a changeup, 2-0. Man, I'd figured Ludgate's got to be taking, but we'll see. Remember, he walked his first time up. 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch from Siebers. Swung on and fouled straight back. That was right down the middle. Ludgate had a good swing, but got underneath it. Ball 2, strike 1. Siebers has thrown a lot of pitches this inning. He's got 71 already in the game. We're not even through the 3rd. Ludgate awaits. 2-1 pitch. That's up and in with a fastball. He's 1 pitch away from walking in the tying run. Is 3-1. Boy, this has got to be a beach ball down the middle. A beach ball. Runners with big leads across the board there. 3-1 pitch. Oh, he short-armed it right into the dirt. He even slowed down his arm motion. That is, Ludgate walks. And the game is tied at 3. As Griffith scored in the play. Here's Bryson Wooldridge, who struck out his first time up. So Siebers continues, and some of this damage is not all his fault. The pitch, swing and a foul. Well, that pitch was up and in. That was not a pitch to hit there for Wooldridge. It's 0-1. That would have been ball 1. That was more of a defensive swing for the first baseman, the junior. The wind and the offering. Swing and a miss. I don't know what he's swinging at. That pitch not even close. Up and in. He's got to swing at strikes here. 0-2 here to Bryson Wooldridge. And the offering. That is a call, strike 3. However, the Bee Diggers do score 3 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. There was a critical error by Resurrection Christian, and the bases were left loaded. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's Brush 3, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, let's head to the bottom of the 3rd. Brush 3, Resurrection Christian 3. As the Bee Diggers rebounded with 3 runs in that top of the 3rd. And the left-hander Justin Griffith, back on the mound for Brush, will be facing the top of the order, Zach Cook, Jackson Romero, and Andrew Iwanicki. And these are the 3 that Griffith retired in order back at the top of the 1st inning. So it's a brand new ball game here in Loveland. Cook in his first at bat popped up to the 3rd baseman Garrett. Cole lays down the sign and the offering. And the breaking ball's a strike on the outside corner just above the knees, and it's 0-1. Good start there for Griffith. Here's the offering, and that changeup a little bit low and away. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to the left-handed hitting Zach Cook. And the pitch inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Try to back him off a little bit, but not that close. Only 29 pitches thrown by Griffith. A lot less than Siebers has thrown. That's right there for a strike down the middle. And he levels the count at 2-2 to the opening hitter here at the bottom of the 3rd inning for a Resurrection Christian team that is 4-2 on the season. And the 2-2. Swung on, grounded up the middle, headed for center field. That's a base hit. Well, that's the way that Resurrection Christian began the 2nd inning with a base hit. Now here comes Jackson Romero, who popped up to the left fielder Hunter Ludgate his first time up. The stretch by Griffith. And the offering. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Well out of play. It's 0-1. Colorado Plains Medical Center, another outstanding sponsor of Brush, Bee Digger, and Morgan County sports. Colorado Plains Medical Center. That is a ball down and away. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 runs on 3 hits for the Cougars. 3 runs on 1 hit for Brush. Both teams have committed an error. Resurrection Christian has not stranded a runner. The Bee Diggers have looked 4 on the base pass. Snap throw to first. Back in standing is Cook. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bee Diggers a double play depth. The stretch and the offering. Swung on. That's grounded to short. Let's see if this is 2. Guzman underhands to second for 1. Queen to first. Aaron throw. And he got him on the hop there. Bryson Woldridge digs it out. And it's a 6-4-3 double play. Again, not a natural position there for Queen, but a nice job. Guzman to Queen to Woldridge. And they're 2 down. And that'll send up Andrew Iwanicki, the left fielder. He popped to third. Here's the wind and pitch. And the breaking ball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Iwanicki. And the offering. Swung on and popped up foul down the left side. That is out of play. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 down and the bases empty here in the bottom of the 3rd. Resurrection Christian scored 3 in the 2nd, but the Bee Diggers came back and they tallied 3 in the 3rd. Here's the wind and the pitch. Changeup down and away. Ball 2, strike 1. Brush going for their 2nd straight victory after 5 losses to begin the season. In a 3-3 battle here with the Cougars in Loveland. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fisted on the right side. Second baseman Queen charges, gloves, underhands, and out is Iwanicki. And so is Resurrection Christian in the 3rd. Let's head to the 4th inning. Brush 3, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Well, I mentioned last inning if the Bee Diggers could get Hayden Siebers out of the game and extend that pitch count at some point, they would have an advantage. That's what they've done here. However, it's a very talented, big, strong left-hander, Zach Parrish. Now on the mound, Hayden Siebers moves over to first. Yeah, so there might not be a drop-off here, as Parrish looks pretty good just warming up, but we'll find out. I mean, Siebers looked great warming up, and he was only effective through 2, even though he did pitch into the 3rd. We're tied at 3. Jade Queen, Josiah Henry, and Justin Griffith. Now, the one thing Siebers did well is strike out some Bee Diggers. Yeah, when Brush recorded outs, they were not making tons of contact. Wind and pitch from the left-hander is a fastball in the inside corner for a strike. Siebers threw 76 pitches over 3 innings, allowing 1 hit. He walked 4, and he struck out 7. And the pitch, very high with a fastball to Queen. He walked his first time up. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're down to a 4-inning game here in Loveland. Perhaps more, you never know. 1 extra innings 2 years ago. Swing and a miss. Threw it right by Queen. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Queen hitting from the right side with an open stance. The offering. Grounded off the pitcher's glove towards the shortstop, Romero. He's not going to have a play. Bare hands. Throws to first, but late. That was a comebacker. And it went off of Parrish's glove. It'll be a base hit for Jade Queen. The Bee Diggers come up with their second hit. And, yeah, they're looking over at Parrish, but he should be okay. The ball looked like it hit his glove, not anything else. Yeah, it didn't get any part of his body. Here's Josiah Henry. He was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance. And Josiah later scored on that ball hit by Gunnar Guzman. The stretch. Looking over first is the left-hander and the pitch. Swung on foul straight back on a fastball, tailing up in the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Your one-stop shop is Brush Grocery Cart. Public service payments, 24-hour gas. Tons of amenities there at Brush Grocery Cart. Right there on Edison Street in Brush. Pitch, swung on, grounded up the middle. Could be 2. And it goes right underneath the glove of the second baseman into center field. And advancing to second is Queen. And right there, Ethan Wheeler had to go underneath the breadbasket. And now first and second, that'll be another error for Resurrection Christian, their second of the game, on what was easily a 4-6-3 double play if he fields it. I mean, he was only a few feet to the left of the bag. Here's Justin Griffith. First and second, nobody out, scoring to bunt, and he fouls it back. Griffith popped out and walked and scored. So he is 0 for 1. No balls and 1 strike. We are at the top of the hour, straight up at noon. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Weldona, and KSIR.com. Scoring a bunt off the catcher's glove, and the runners will advance. So second and third with nobody out. Well, that was pretty far outside, and we'll call it a wild pitch. And Queen, a very aggressive base runner over there, is the lead runner. And at second is Henry. The Bee Diggers are looking for the lead. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out, 2 on. The stretch by Parrish and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Took a big hack at the fastball at the knees. It's 1-2. On deck is Carson Rule, who's had his struggles today with 2 strikeouts. The infield is playing in from first to third. The offering and the breaking ball's in the dirt. That's a nice take there by Griffith. That's one of those pitches that started off as a strike, and all of a sudden it dove into the dirt. But that's basically a sign that Griffith read it directly off the pitcher's hand. And the offering, that's outside on that changeup, 3-2. And now even Parrish in this inning is building up a pitch count. Still nobody out in the 4th inning. The Bee Diggers trailed early 3-0, but now we're tied at 3. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Griffith. The pitch, and that's low. It's a walk. Griffith has walked for the second time in the game, and the bases are loaded for Carson Rule. And we'll have a conversation on the hill. And that conversation will break up here momentarily. And here is Rule. Out of the windup and the pitch. Swung on and fouled back. A little bit late on the swing as well. No balls and 1 strike. when Carson just wants to make contact. You can see that he's trying to ease up a little bit on that swing, not take as big of a swing. Infield playing in again. The Wine with the bases loaded. The Offering swung on and grounded right side. That'll play to run, and it's into right field for a base hit. 1 run scores, and the second runner will hold up. It's an RBI single for Carson Rule as Jade Queen scores, and the Bee Diggers now lead 4-3. That ball was not hit hard on the right side, but beyond the diving first baseman Hayden Siebers. And again, excellent job of Rule just shortening up that swing and putting the ball in play. And the Bee Diggers now lead 4-3. Here's Ben Garrett. He had a run-scoring Texas leaguer. Down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Ben Garrett officially is 0 for, make it 1 for 2. He grounded out his first time up. And the Offering. That's a fastball for a strike, letter high. And the count levels at 1-1. At third is Henry. Griffith at second. Rule at first. Nobody out in the 4th inning. 1-1 pitch. Fastball's up and in. Ball 2, strike 1. Here from the left-hander, Zach Parrish. Resurrection Christian was in 2A for quite a few years. Been in 3A for, I believe, about 4 or 5 years now. 2-1 Offering. And the breaking ball's in the dirt. Man, again, a great take there from Garrett. He was getting ready to crank that thing up and realized that's not a fastball. Had he thought that was a fastball, would have swung at that one. Now it's 3-1. The Bee Diggers already have a bases-loaded walk in this game. 3-1 pitch. That is a ball. Yep, it's a ball. Boy, that looked like a strike. The fans for Resurrection Christian, the infield, the pitcher looking for a strike. I thought it was there, but it just was a little bit low. And Josiah Henry scores. The bases-loaded walk to Garrett, who's got 2 RBIs. And Brush now leads 5-3. Here's Gunnar Guzman, who had an RBI in that 3rd inning. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got blown away by that fastball in the first pitch. It's 0-1. Gunnar, like Carson Rule 2 batters ago, did shorten his swing when he was down 2 strikes and was able to drive in a run. The pitch. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball in the dirt. Count moves to 0-2. Got to score more than 2 now with the bases loaded and nobody out in his 4th inning. And the Bee Diggers up 5-3 after trailing 3-0. Griffith, Rule, and Garrett on the bases from 3rd to 1st. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Same pitch right in the dirt on the breaking ball. And Guzman went fishing. There's 1 down. And Resurrection Christian pitchers have struck out 8 Bee Diggers, including Colin Cole, struck out twice. He had a good at bat his 2nd time against Siebers. Here's the Wine and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Man, he was super late on that fastball. I think Colin wants to swing at something away. I don't blame him. No balls and 1 strike. The wind kicking up as much as it has the entire game. And the Offering. And the breaking ball is upstairs. 1-1. Here's the Wine and the Offering. Swing and a miss and a fastball up and in. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Colin Cole. 5-3 Brush, top of the 4th inning. And the pitch in the dirt, and the ball skips away, and now headed towards the plate, and sliding in safely for the run. On a very aggressive play is Justin Griffith, and the Bee Diggers now lead 6-3. That ball only got away maybe about 1.5 feet from the catcher, Lincoln, but Griffith scores. And the Bee Diggers have put together their 2nd consecutive 3-run inning. And the other runners advance a base. Now it's 2-2 to Cole. Wine and pitch. That is a called strike 3. Fastball in the inside corner. And Collins strikes out for a 3rd time. That pitch was pretty unhittable anyway. Here's Hunter Ludgate, who's walked twice. That is 9 strikeouts for Resurrection Christian pitching today. And the Offering. That's inside. Parrish is approaching the 30 pitch mark in this frame alone. They might have to go to a third pitcher. At third is Rule. Garrett at second. 1-0 pitch. That one bounces in, but that's blocked nicely by Lincoln. 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Bryson Wooldridge is on deck. The left-hander Parrish turns and delivers. Swung on. That's line towards the right center field gap. That one's way back there, and it's over the head of Cook. 2 runs are going to score. Here comes Ben Garrett. To second is Ludgate. It's a 2-run double in what is now a 5-run 4th inning for the Bee Diggers. And they lead Resurrection Christian 8-3. And that ball was belted by Ludgate. Ludgate's been on base 3 times today. Here's Bryson Wooldridge, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Well, that's a big hit for Brush to open up this lead to 5 runs, and the pitch that's taken for a strike down the middle. It's 0-1. Here to the Bee Digger first baseman, who had a nice scoop on the back end of a 6-4-3 double play back half an inning ago. The stretch and the offering, up and away with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is the 9th hitter of the inning for Brush, with 2 outs in the 4th. At the belt is Parrish, and the pitch swung on and fouled off the end of the bat to the screen. And it is 1-2. The Bee Diggers didn't get a base hit till an inning ago on that Texas leaguer by Garrett. And now they have 4 in the game, out hitting Rez 4-3 and outscoring them 8-3. Pitch to Wooldridge. Breaking ball down and in. Ball 2, strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch called strike 3 on the breaking ball in the inside corner. And Zach Parrish strikes out the side in order, but the Bee Diggers score 5 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and a man left. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th inning. In Loveland, Brush has taken control of the game as they lead Resurrection Christian 8-3 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Justin Griffith begins the 4th inning. That pitch is up and into Hayden Siebers. He had a base hit. First time up, the Bee Diggers lead Resurrection Christian 8-3. 3 runs in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th. And that bounces in. 2 balls and no strikes. The Bee Diggers have had to come up with those outs defensively. Griffith does not have a strikeout in the game. And Resurrection Christian has struck out 10 Bee Diggers, and that's up and in 3-0. So Brush has got to play some defense here. This 5-run lead is anything but secure on Resurrection Christian's home field in Loveland if they don't play some D. 3-0 pitch, and that's right there for a strike, on the inner half at the knees. It's 3-1. Siebers, Wheeler, and Shepard, 4, 5, and 6 for the Cougars in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch, and that ball hit him. Siebers didn't like that one, but it got him on the right elbow there. He's wearing an elbow guard. That'll bring up Ethan Wheeler. He reached on Brush's only error in his first at bat. And that's 3 innings in a row that Resurrection Christian has had the leadoff man on base. They scored 3 in the 2nd, but the Bee Diggers then turned a 6-4-3 double play to thwart what could have been a rally in the 3rd. Here's the stretch and the offering. Right there for a strike with a fastball. Down the middle, it's 0-1. Justin Griffith gets a sign from Cole. And the pitch up and away with a heater. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike here to the number 5 hitter Ethan Wheeler. And the pitch. Boy, that's not even close. Up and away again. Ball 2, strike 1. Griffith recomposing himself behind the hill. He knows that he's the man right now. He went 6 innings on Tuesday against Sterling. Allowed 3 runs. None were earned. The stretch. And the pitch. That is a ball. Boy, just missed down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here to Ethan Wheeler. With nobody out in the bottom of the 4th, and Brush leads 8-3, and that's up and away, not even close. That'll bring up Sawyer Shepard, who doubled his first time up. Yeah, he doubled on that flare inside the right field line. All right, so now, what can Justin Griffith do here? The stretch and the pitch. Swung on and popped up into right field. Now, can he locate the baseball? It's twisting foul. Now, Henry never saw it. I'm not sure that thing was completely out of play, but he never saw it. And when that is happening, you have to stay so focused on the hitter. Super focused on that hitter. No balls and 1 strike here to Sawyer Shepard. The stretch and the offering, and that fastball's up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is the number 6 hitter in the lineup. And Griffith has put himself in a jam here in this bottom of the 4th inning. The offering, swing and a miss on a pitch down in the zone. Took a huge hack at that one as the ball was dropping down below the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stretch by Griffith. And the pitch. Swung on, ground up the middle. The shortstop Guzman plays it off his body. Steps in the back, has it, throws to first. In time! It's a 6-3 double play. Guzman trapped it up against his chest. Advancing to third is Sieber. Second double play turned by the Bee Diggers. And there's 2 down here in this inning. Swung on, grounded to the shortstop. Guzman backs up, settles, throws to first, in time. And Zach Parrish is now 0 for 2 as he grounds out on the first pitch there, thrown by Justin Griffith. First and second, nobody out. And Justin Griffith gets out of that one with 2 grounders to short, 1 a double play, and the other a conventional 6-3. Let's head to the 5th inning in Loveland. Brush 8, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. Brush 8, Resurrection Christian 3 as we head to the 5th inning. And Justin Griffith got in a jam and got out of a jam. Need a new windshield? Want to spray on bedline or truck accessory? Smart Parts. They're not hard to find. In Sterling, that's Smart Parts. The Bee Diggers scored 3 runs in the 3rd inning and 4 more in the 5th. And here we go with Jade Queen stepping in. And the pitch from the left-hander, Zach Parrish, is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes here to begin the 5th inning. I tell you, this is a brand new ball club. You beat Fort Morgan, you finish this off, you're a brand new team. Forget about the first 5 games. That's a strike on the inside corner. And the count is level at 1-1. Queen walked in singles, stole a couple of bags. He's really been aggressive on the base paths. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. That tied him up. He got fooled by that pitch. That would have been ball 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to the second baseman, Queen. He's been solid defensively in this game. And the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And the ball was in the dirt, and the catcher, Lincoln, tags out Queen. And there's one down. 11 Beet Diggers have struck out in this game. 11. That's incredible. But they lead 8-3. That's what's impressive. And the fastball is low to Henry. Henry hit by a pitch and reached on an air. He's 0 for 1. Ben Garrett had the RBI single to begin the scoring for Brush in the top of the third inning. That's taken for a strike. And that brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants, providing civil engineering services for aviation, municipal, commercial, residential clients as well in Colorado. Western Engineering Consultants. 1 ball, 1 strike. The wind and pitch. And the breaking ball is right down the middle for a strike. That little 10-6 curveball. And it's 1-2 to Henry. With 1 out and the bases empty in the 5th inning. On the visiting side, the pitch down and in with a heater. And the count moves to 2-2. And the offering. Swing and a miss and a curveball. And there's 2 down here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up Justin Griffith. And the pitch for the left-hander. That's down and away. One ball and no strikes. Pitch to Griffith. Swung on and popped foul out of play. And the count levels at 1-1. Again, the Beet Diggers have been productive when they put the ball in play. But they haven't done much of that in this game. Swing and a miss, at least with regularity. A pop out and 2 walks for Griffith. They do have 4 hits. I mean, they have taken advantage of every single opportunity they made for themselves. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to the left-handed hitting Justin Griffith. And the pitch that is in the dirt. Looked like he threw him a changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Resurrection Christian had a 3-0 lead in the second, but the Beet Diggers scored 5 unanswered, checked at 8 unanswered, 3 in the third and 5 in the fourth. 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 2 down and the bases empty in the 5th. The pitch, curveball, and that is upstairs. Oh, Parrish thought it was called strike 3, but it was just a tad above the letters. 3-2 to Justin Griffith. He awaits the pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew him away with a fastball in the outer half. And the Beet Diggers go down in order as Parrish strikes out the side in order. Brush has struck out 13 times in the game, but they lead 8-3, heading to the bottom of the 5th in Loveland, as you're listening to Brush Beet Digger Baseball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Resurrection Christian in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cooper Strong, Christian Cox, and Zach Cook against left-hander Justin Griffith, who's relied on his defense. The Beet Diggers have turned 2 double plays. He's thrown just 53 pitches. Hayden Sievers was out after 74, making 76 pitches through 3 innings when the Beet Diggers rallied from that 3-0 hole. Cooper Strong hit a sacrifice fly in the second, and he hits it foul off to the right on a changeup off the end of the bat. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Griffith has not struck out a single batter. Pitching to contact, the offering. And that is right there for a strike on the outside corner with a fastball. No balls and 2 strikes. Griffith walked the first 2 hitters of the 4th inning. In fact, Resurrection has had the first hitter on in each of the last 3 innings. And that swung on grounded off the end of the bat. Nice backhanded play there by Griffith, who underhands to first for the out. An athletic play off the mound by the Beet Digger senior pitcher. And there's 1 down here in the 5th for Christian Cox. Cox grounded out to the second baseman, Queen, his first time up. The left-hander, Griffith. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss and a fastball right around neck level. No balls and 1 strike. I think Griffith wants to do baseball. Yeah, he does. Check it out, or at least inspect the baseball. Yeah, apparently it is scuffed up, so that baseball's out of play. All right, no balls, 1 strike, 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning. And Brush leads Resurrection Christian by a score of 8-3. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit Morgan Community College, morgancc.edu, and that changeup tails up and away. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. Emily Hernandez is our sound engineer and producer today, doing a fine job back in studio. And the pitch, that's up and away again. Ball 2, strike 1 to the number 9 hitter for Resurrection Christian here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And the pitch swung on and lifted on the right side. The right fielder, Henry, along the line, chases it down and makes the catch for out number 2. 2 down here for Zach Cook, who has popped to third and singled. So he's officially 1 for 2. That's amazing. You gauge the momentum of a game when the Bay Diggers were down 3-0 and Siebers was looking solid with 5 strikeouts through 2, and it turned around right there. That pitch rides inside on Zach Cook. 1 ball and no strikes. Justin Griffith, the lefty, comes home, swung on and fouled off to the left and well out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, this field very easy to get to. Turn right there at Centera. Head north a little bit, you're here. Swung on and grounded along the first base line, foul. Nice backhanded play by Wooldridge as he steps in the bag, but I thought, he was in fair territory. They're going to call it? Did they call him out? I thought the ball was called foul. No, they're going to say that he was in fair territory and that the ball went over the bag and Wooldridge steps in the bag, and that's it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Griffith. Let's head to the 6th. The Bay Diggers are 6 outs away from winning their 2nd straight. They lead in Loveland over Resurrection Christian 8-3 on 1010 KSRR and KSRR.com. Carson Rule steps in for Brush, taking a fastball high, then a all-speed pitch down and away. 2-0 pitch, and that's low. 3 balls and no strikes from the left-hander, Zach Parrish. Rule struck out twice and then singled in a run in the 5-run 4th inning. The Beat Diggers are in the lead by a score of 8-3 here in Loveland. Wind and pitch. That's taken for a strike. Fastball down the middle, but he's not swinging at 3-0. 3 balls and 1 strike. Rule might even take a second pitch if he doesn't like it. The left-hander comes home. Swung on. Line caught by the first baseman, Siebers. And there's 1 down. Yeah, it didn't hit it super hard, but Siebers was right there. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. That'll send up Ben Garrett. Grounded out, singled in a run and walked, and the pitch is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Garrett. And a very solid player for Brush since getting into the starting lineup when those starters went on their trip to Europe. That's twisted foul off to the right. Count is at 1-1, but I'm sure the Beat Diggers are going to be happy to see Caleb Cox back and Isaac D. Herrera, Ben Brown, Nick Wellen, and Ryan Dunker. 1 ball, 1 strike. This team will be that much stronger. The pitch, and the breaking ball is up and in. Ball 2, strike 1. We're in the 6th inning. Brush leads Resurrection Christian 8-3 in Loveland. Here's the wind by Parrish in the offering. That's up and away. Well, he's run into some control issues here in the 6th. He did retire Rule, but he fell behind 3-0. 3 balls and 1 strike. The pitch right there for a strike on the inner half of the knees. It is 3-2 here to Ben Garrett. Parrish has been all over the place. 33 strikes, 27 balls. did strike out the side in order 1 inning ago. The Bee Diggers have struck out a ton in this game. And the pitch. Swing and a miss and a curveball. In fact, that's why that line drive hit by Rule was so rare. As Garrett strikes out, because now you've got 14 Bee Diggers that have struck out in the game. With 2 down to the 6th inning, here's Gunnar Guzman. And the pitch. Breaking ball hit him on the left leg. So Guzman remains at 0 for 3. Struck out twice, reached on an air, driving in a run. And that time hit by the pitch. And Colin Cole will now step in. The Bee Digger catcher has been solid defensively, but looking to make his first contact here. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And Cole awaits the pitch. Takes it low. 1 ball and no strikes. Anytime you struck out 3 times, but you're a senior, you know how to make the adjustment. The offering, and that's outside. And with a changeup, 2 balls and no strikes. Bunch of goose eggs on the board, but the innings in which the teams have scored have been crooked numbers. 3 for Rez in the 2nd, 3 for Brush in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th. And the throw back to first and back in standing over there is Guzman. 2 balls and no strikes to Colin Cole. The Bee Diggers back at it on Tuesday against Platte Valley at 4 o'clock right here on 1010 as well as KSIR.com. And the pitch, that is outside, 3-0. Well, Colin Cole has drawn more walks than any other Bee Digger this season. And there's a balk. And advancing to second is going to be Guzman. And it didn't come to a set at all. Well, this might be all for naught because it's 3-0. If he walks Cole, then you got Ludgate up there who nailed a 2-run double to cap off the scoring in the 4th inning coming up. 3-0 pitch to Cole. That's a fastball down the middle, strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike. To senior catcher Colin Cole. Guzman off of second. And the pitch. And that's in the dirt. And Cole walks as he's customarily done so many times this season. I got an update on that. I think it's 8 walks already for him. And he had 7 early on, including 4 against Ken Denver. Hunter Ludgate has been on base all 3 times. 1 for 1, 2 walks. And then he crushed that 2-run double. And the thing, he has not scored in the game. He's been stranded. And that fastball is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee Diggers have stranded 5 in the game. Resurrection Christian has only stranded 1. And Parrish delivers. That is outside. Took something off at 2 balls and no strikes. To Hunter Ludgate. If they throw him anything close, he's going to be swinging. He's got the hit sign. There's no doubt about it. 2-0 pitch. And that is in the dirt, and the ball gets away. The third is Guzman, the throw, and he is safe. It'll be a wild pitch there. And Colin Cole does advance to second. And now it's 3-0 on Ludgate. He might be swinging 3-0. The offering. No, it's upstairs. He walks. Ludgate's been on base all 4 times, but boy, Bryson needs a big at-bat here. He's 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, but Cole was in that situation, and he walked. Big opportunity for Wooldridge here to extend the lead with 2 down in the 6th inning. Here's the wind and pitch. Upstairs with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. And now the first baseman Siebers out to talk to his pitcher. Yeah, Zach Parrish, despite striking out 7, has issued 4 walks. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Extremely high and off the glove. Guzman breaking for the plate. There's going to be a play and he's going to slide and he's safe. He is safe. The ball was in the glove of the pitcher, but Guzman slid around it. And now the throw back to third and safe. Safe over there is that second runner for Brush. Colin Cole and the Beandiggers in a wild pitch now lead 9-3. And it's 2-0 to Wooldridge. Guzman had a late break for the plate, but was able to score. That was certainly a risk because he was not very decisive, but nonetheless, the Beandiggers catch a break there. And Wooldridge up there at 2-0. And the offering, that's way outside, and Parrish has lost control of the strike zone, 3-0. And again, he walked Cole, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. He's going to walk Wooldridge here. Down in the count at 3-0. Yeah, Parrish has very good mechanics, but cannot find the zone. 3-0. That's up and in. It's a walk. And the bases are loaded here for Jade Queen. That is 5 walks now issued in the game by Zach Parrish since coming in for Siebers. Now, Siebers threw 76 pitches, 75 thrown by Zach Parrish. Queen has walked, singled, and struck out. He is 1 for 2. This all happened with 2 out and nobody on. And the pitch, and that's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Lincoln. 1 ball and no strikes. Cole at third, Ludgate at second, Wooldridge at first. All of them walked. And the 1-0. Swung on, lined into right field. That is a base hit. Here comes Cole. And around third is Ludgate. He'll stay right there. RBI single for Jade Queen. And the Beandiggers now lead 10-3 in the 6th inning. There's Josiah Henry, hit by a pitch, reached in an air and struck out. He is 0 for 2. 10 unanswered runs by Brush. The pitch swung on and chopped slowly on the right side. The pitcher Parrish will tag the hitter Henry along the line, and that will end the top of the 6th inning for the Beandiggers. However, Brush is able to generate a 2-out rally. The Beandiggers scored 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left loaded. Let's head to the bottom of the 6th inning with the score. Brush 10, Resurrection Christian 3 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. It'll be the heart of the order, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Resurrection Christian. Jackson Romero, Andrew Iwanicki, and Hayden Siebers. Here to begin the bottom of the 6th inning. And Brush leads 10-3. When you win a big game like they did on Thursday against Fort Morgan, you ask yourself, is that a one-hit wonder or the sign of good things to come? And in this case, it is most definitely the latter. Here's Romero, the sophomore shortstop. Griffith delivers. And that is down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. A pop out and a ground out for Romero. He is 0 for 2 in the game. And the offering. And that's taken for a strike with a changeup down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the wind and pitch. Upstairs. It is 2-1. Keep in mind, Justin Griffith has no strikeouts in the game. He's walked just 1. He's been in control. And the 2-1. Up and away. Check that. You should have more than 1 walk. Let's see. Maybe that didn't update for me. I believe he's got at least 3 walks in the game. Let's see. 5 innings. Oh, I did say 1 walk, and that is a ball. That is a walk. Yeah, the other one was a hit batter. That's probably what happened there. 2nd walk of the game. Yeah, he did hit a batter. So Romero's on, and that's the 4th time in 6 innings that Resurrection Christian has had the leadoff man on base. Here's Iwanicki, popped out and grounded out. Big lead over there in the offering, and that's low with a fastball, 1 ball and no strikes. Justin Griffith has thrown just 69 pitches, so there's no reason to think he cannot go the distance here. Romero with a 3-step lead. Griffith delivers, and that's low again. 2 balls and no strikes. He ran into trouble 2 innings ago, and then was able to wiggle his way out of it with a 6-3 double play, then another grounder to Guzman. Brush up by 7. The offering, and that is upstairs. 3-0. Well, just as I said that he was in control. Not so much right now. The stretch. Throw back to first, but back in standing is Romero. I gotta see, this doesn't look like it's updating. There we go. Yep. 3 balls and no strikes to Iwanicki. The offering, and that's extremely high. Griffith has to settle down now. He's walked the first 2 hitters of the 6th inning. Here comes pitching coach Christian Valles. And this isn't like any other sport where you have time. Here you don't run out of time. You run out of outs, but Griffith has to throw a strike here. There's 2 on and nobody out of the bottom of the 6th inning. The B-Diggers, after trailing 3-0, scored 3 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th, and 2 early in this inning. 10 runs on 5 hits for Brush. They've committed just 1 error. That's been critical for them in this game. The solid defense. They've left 8 on base. Resurrection Christian with 3 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and they have left just 1. So Griffith has done a very, very good job of pitching with runners on base. But now he's got to do it here against Hayden Siebers, who was not retired in his first 2 plate appearances. He singled and it was hit by a pitch. Romero at second, Iwanicki at first, with nobody out in the 6th inning. And a pitch, and that's low. That's in the dirt, in fact. 1 ball and no strikes. Now he's probably starting to think that he might not be able to throw a strike anytime soon. He's got to just do what he's done best. 1 ball and no strikes. And the offering, and that is a strike. Took something off it right at the knees, down the middle. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's all it takes, that 1 pitch. But this is a very good hitter. He's the cleanup hitter for Resurrection Christian, Hayden Siebers. And the offering runner going to third, swung on, grounded right field, base hit. Romero's around third. He will score. And now runner around second, Iwanicki to third, no throw. It's an RBI single for Siebers, and Resurrection Christian scores for the first time since the 2nd inning. It's now 10-4. And still nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th. And is that going to be it? Here comes Kevin Fergus. I don't think he's going to make a visit to the hill. Ethan Wheeler has reached on an error and walked. And now they're going to check third. And out! Romero did not step on third. So he's going to be called out. Romero apparently missed third base. And there's 1 out as the home plate umpire on the appeal. Boy, that's a good job of Kevin Fergus pointing that out. So it's still a base hit. It is a base hit for Siebers. But Romero does not score as he missed the base. Wow, that's a critical play in this game. So it's still 10-3. Wheeler reached in an error and walked, and he didn't need to round third that quickly. And that's a strike with a fastball in the inner half. It's 0-1. So instead of 10-4 with first and third and nobody out, it's 10-3 with first and third and 1 out. And the offering swung on and popped up in the infield. The pitcher, Griffith, calls for it to the left of the mound and makes the catch. And there's 2 down. Man, this guy is getting out of every jam. And now he's 1 pitch away from doing it again. So Wheeler retired. Here's Sawyer Shepard, who has doubled and grounded out. 0 for 2. The stretch and the offering, and that is taken up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. So Resurrection Christian has still not scored since the second. Runners take their leads. And Griffith delivers. Swung on. That ball's grounded up the middle. Second baseman Queen has it go right by him into center field. That'll be scored an error. As Iwanicki scores, is now 10-4, but that's an unearned run allowed there by Justin Griffith. And the B-Diggers commit their second error of the game. No RBI. There for Shepard. Here's Zach Parrish, who was grounded out twice. So Resurrection Christian does score that run. And the pitch. That's taken for a strike down the middle of the off speed. No balls and 1 strike.
Right in there, wasn't it?
Siebers at second. Shepard at first. And the offering. Fisted in the air into foul territory, and Cole gives chase, but it's out of play. Man, talk about jamming a hitter. Griffith came in on the left-handed hitting Zach Parrish. It's no balls and 2 strikes. The B-Diggers are 4 outs away from their second straight victory and a complete and 180 turnaround to this season. Parrish digs back in. Runners take their leads. And the offering. And that's up and away. 1 and 2. That's 82 pitches unofficially thrown by Griffith, so he could certainly go the distance. Griffith looks in. And the offering. That is outside. 2 and 2. And again, Griffith has gone 5 2/3 innings without a strikeout. Excellent defense by Brush for the most part. The offering. That's in the dirt with a changeup. Well, now he's got to throw him somewhat fat here. It's 3 and 2. Not out of this inning yet. Brush leads 10-4 in the bottom of the 6th in Loveland. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded right side. Second baseman Queen plays it off his body. That's into right field for a base hit. Around third is Siebers. He will score. It's another error. And the inning continues 10-5. It went off, looked like the top of his glove. And the inning continues for the Cougars. Advancing to third on the play was Sawyer Shepard. So 2 unearned runs. And is that Cooper Strong or is that a, nope. That looks like a pinch hitter. And the offering. And that is a changeup for a strike. That is Ethan Reeser now batting here for Resurrection Christian. They're to within 5 runs. The offering. Swung on, popped up. That should end the inning. The third baseman Garrett in foul territory makes the catch. And the 6th inning is over. However, the B-Diggers do help out the Cougars in that frame as the Cougars scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 2 men left. Let's head to the 7th. It's Brush 10, Resurrection Christian 5 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the 7th inning. The B-Diggers lead Resurrection Christian by a score of 10-5. And the B-Diggers looking for some insurance here as Resurrection Christian was able to put together a couple of runs, even though the B-Diggers did help them out there with a couple of errors. That's the only category Brush has committed more than Resurrection Christian in on the negative side. They've got 10 runs to 5, 5 hits to 4, 3 errors to 2 for Res. However, the B-Diggers have stranded 8, and Resurrection Christian has only left 3 on base. Justin Griffith is 0 for 2, and he will begin the 7th inning against Zach Parrish, who didn't make the start in this game, but he's going to throw starter numbers. 78 pitches already. He struck out 7 and walked 5. And the pitch. And that is right there. He grooves it in for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. The left-hander gets the sign and delivers. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes as Griffith got challenged there down the middle. And the offering. Swung on, lined up the middle for a base hit into left center field. The pitch was left out over the plate. And Justin Griffith has his first hit of the game. The Bee Diggers have their 6th. That'll bring up Carson Rule. Yeah, Brush is not done. Carson Rule is 1 for 4, struck out twice looking, then singled in a run, and then lined to first. He's 1 for 4. 3-step lead for Griffith. And the offering. Swung on and lifted towards center field, and that's going to be caught over there by Zach Cook. The ball hung up for the center fielder. And there's 1 down. Thought he might have hit it a little bit off the end of the bat, which would have dropped that ball in front of the center fielder, but he got too much of it. And Ben Garrett will now bat. Garrett has grounded to the mound. An RBI single in the 3rd. He walked and struck out. 1 for 3. Awaits the pitch. Here it is. And he takes it down and away with the off speed. 1 ball and no strikes. Brush scored 10 unanswered runs in this game after trailing 3-0. Rez has come back with a couple. The offering. That is on the inside corner for a strike with a fastball. Bell tie, it's 1-1. Gunnar Guzman waits to hit next. 2-step lead over at first for Griffith. And time is called. The wind not as much a factor in this game as previous games, mainly in Brush and in Keansburg. And the offering runner going. The breaking ball's in the dirt. That's a great pitch to run on. No throw. It'll be a straight-up steal there for Griffith. And now the Bee Diggers have a runner in scoring position. With 1 down in the 7th, up 10-5. Two balls, 1 strike. And Garrett awaits. Here's the pitch. He swings and chops it off the third baseman's glove. Romero now has it. Romero's not going to be able to make a play. That'll be a base hit. As Shepard kind of lunged to his left and got a glove on it. Then it deflected to Romero, but he had no play as Griffith advanced to third. So the Bee Diggers have 2 hits in the inning. And now a big opportunity for insurance runs. And Gunnar Guzman, who is 0 for 3, struck out twice, reached on an error, which did drive in a run, and was hit by a pitch. He's the cleanup hitter in this lineup. And the offering. Swung on and popped up, and that is headed right into foul territory. You can't even see the ball. Yeah, and it apparently went right over my head. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, I could not... Yeah, the Lancaster Garrett Beltran triplication could not locate the baseball there. And, I mean, either it was going to miss us or one of us was going to be headed to the hospital with a concussion. There we go. No balls and 1 strike. That's true. And the offering. And that's down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, thanks to the Wrights family for saving my head today. I left the net cap behind, and 1 ball, 1 strike. And the throw back to first, and that was closer than it should have been there, but back in diving is Garrett. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. The Bee Diggers lead 10-5 in the 7th. In Loveland over Resurrection Christian. And the pitch, and that's in the dirt. Ball skips away. Garrett will advance to second. No advance from Griffith at third. And now you have 2 runners in scoring position. With Colin Cole on deck. Let's see if Gunnar can drive him in the pitch. That one bounces in, and Griffith headed towards the plate, and he can't find the baseball. Lincoln can't find it. Now does. It'll be a wild pitch, and Griffith scores easily. It's now 11-5. And to third is Garrett. Now it's 3-1 on Guzman. And Parrish might not be able to make it out of this inning. He's got 90 pitches already. He can only throw 20 more. Bee Diggers have a couple of hits in this inning. And the 3-1. That is taken for a ball. A little bit below the knees on that changeup. Walk number 6 issued by Zach Parrish. Here's Colin Cole, who has struck out 3 times and then walked. And the infield is at double play depth, with a run across already in the 7th. Parrish throws to first, and back in standing is Guzman. The Bee Diggers again trailed after 2 innings, 3-0, but it's been mainly Brush since then, and that's taken for a strike. On the off-speed, on the outside corner, it's 0-1. Colin Cole at the plate. At third is Garrett. Guzman at first. And the pitch. That is outside and low. Count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Got a nice crowd on both sides here. Of course, it's warming up as we speak as well. And the pitch. And that ball hit him. Ooh! Boy, that got him right around the lower back, or maybe the upper backside there. Backside being the buttocks. And now the bases are loaded. And let's see, that could signal a pitching change. We will find out as the bases are loaded for Hunter Ludgate, who's had a huge game. Ludgate has not been retired today. He's been walked 3 times and has a 2-run double. Yeah, Ludgate has really had one heck of a game. And even though he's been on base every time, he's not scored a run. He has driven in 3. One of those was the bases loaded walk. Conversation on the hill, with the Bee Diggers up 11-5. Here in the top half of the 7th inning with only 1 down. All right, so here we go with Ludgate stepping in. For your complete plumbing repairs and services, including hot water, radiant floor heating, B&J Plumbing in Sterling since 1961. All right, so here's Ludgate. Man, he could really break this open for Brush. Up 11-5 here in the 7th inning. And out of the windup will be Zach Parrish. He stays in the game with the bases loaded. Here's the wind and the pitch. And that's taken for a ball with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. With Bryson Wooldridge on deck. I know 6 runs sounds good, but man, 8 or 9, well, 10, 11, who knows? That is down and away. Boy, barely missed 2-0. Parrish has now thrown 96 pitches in the game. And with the bases loaded and 1 out and 1 across, he's down in the count 2-0 to a player who has not been retired today. The pitch extremely high, 3-0. And Lincoln's been very busy behind the plate. He had to stand up to catch that one. 3 balls and no strikes. We're in the top half of the 7th inning with the Bee Diggers up by 6. And the 3-0 pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. Man, I'm surprised he was swinging there. 3-1. Three balls and 1 strike. And the offering. And that's down and in. It's a walk to Ludgate. The 4th time he's been walked in the game. He has driven in 4 runs, 2 of them via the bases loaded walk, as Ben Garrett scores. And Brush now leads 12-5 in the 7th. And here comes Bryson Wooldridge. And it looks like we will have a pitching change here in Loveland. Parrish has thrown 99 pitches in the game. And I don't see it officially yet. Yep, we will have a pitching change. Looks like Jackson Romero will step in for Resurrection Christian. All right, let's take a 2-minute break. We're back in 2 minutes, top of the 7th inning. The Bee Diggers lead Resurrection Christian 12-5 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. All right, not sure of all the changes. We know that Jackson Romero is the new pitcher for Resurrection Christian. We're in the top of the 7th inning. All right, let's see who's at short there. For Resurrection Christian, Ethan Reeser now at short. Zach Parrish appears to be at first. But I tell you, Hayden Sieber's still got to be in there, that's for sure. Here's Bryson Wooldridge at the plate. And that pitch is low for the right-hander. 1 ball and no strikes. Wooldridge takes that pitch low, 2-0. Bee Diggers have played at 2 in the inning. Guzman at third, Cole at second. Ludgate at first, 2-0 pitch. Up and away. 3-0. Well, I mean, you don't have to do much when you're just standing there. Wooldridge might get an RBI the easy way. 3-0 pitch, and he's short on that. It's a walk. Guzman will step on home plate. Now the Bee Diggers lead 13-5. And this game has gone by slowly because of the number, not only number of strikeouts, but the number of walks. That is 12 walks issued by Resurrection Christian. That's a fastball for a strike. It's 0-1. Bee Diggers have struck out 14 times. Jade Queen has walked and singled twice and struck out. He is 2 for 3. Swing and a miss. Count is 0-2. And the offering. And that is a called strike 3 with a fastball on the outer half. And there's 2 down. Queen now 2 for 4. That'll bring up Josiah Henry. Hit by a pitch. Reached on an error. Struck out. And grounded to the mound. He foul tips it into the glove of Lincoln. It's 0-1. Now, I'm not sure where Siebers went. He's still got to be out there, I would think, the pitch. That's a fastball for a strike at the knees. It's 0-2. And now Romero getting into a rhythm after walking in a run. And the 0-2. And that is low. Romero raced off the mound, but that clearly was below the knees to Henry. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 7th. The Bee Diggers lead by 8 in Loveland. And the pitch swung on. That ball's grounded right side. And the second baseman dies over there. The throw to first going to be made. And in time. That's a great play over there by Ethan Wheeler. Robbing Henry of the hit. And robbing the Bee Diggers of another run. However, Brush does score 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits. No errors. And the bases were left loaded despite scoring 13 runs in the game. The Bee Diggers have stranded 11. It's a 1-minute break as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Brush 13, Resurrection Christian 5 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Let's head to the bottom of the 7th inning in Loveland. The Brush Bee Diggers lead the Resurrection Christian Cougars 13-5. Rez is trying to avoid their second home loss in less than 24 hours after Sterling defeated them yesterday 6-3 on sister station 105.7 KPMX and KPMX.com. We're live right here, of course, on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Justin Griffith is attempting to go the distance. He's thrown 87 pitches. And here is Christian Cox, the pitch. That's up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Cox is grounded out, and he's popped up. He's 0 for 2. He's allowed just 4 hits, and that pitch is in the dirt. Yeah, we have seen Griffith really struggle today against opening hitters of innings. Once he gets to the first hitter, then he seems to get into a groove. And he'd love to finish this game, but he's got to throw strikes. He has walked 3 in the game, and he's in danger of walking 4. That is 3-0, way outside. He's going to run out of pitches here. Then they'll need somebody to close it. 3-0 pitch. That's up and away. And Cox walks 5 of 7 innings The leadoff man has been on for Resurrection Christian. Zach Cook popped out, singled, and grounded out. His ground out was a nice play by the first baseman Wooldridge to end the fifth. He is 0 for, make it 1 for 3. The stretch and the offering. That's in the dirt with a changeup. 1 ball and no strikes. Brush 13, Resurrection Christian 5. And the pitch. That's right there for a strike. Down the middle, just above the knees, and the count is level at 1-1. The Bee Diggers have turned 2 double plays today. The left-hander Griffith comes home, swung on and fisted foul on the ground up the first base side, and the count moves to 1-2. Here to Zach Cook. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and grounded to second. Let's see if Queen comes up with this. Throws to second for 1. No throw to first. So they get the lead out. Nice play there by Queen. He just wanted to make sure. No reason to think double play there when you're up by 8 runs. And the ball was not hit very sharply. 1 down here in the 7th. And here's Jackson Romero. Fly to left. Grounded to short and walked. It's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Romero with 1 out. And Griffith comes home. That's up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Off of first is Cook. 2-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike with a fastball. 2-1. Griffith went 6 innings against Sterling in a loss. He might go the distance here in a win against Rez. Not if he throws a pitch like that. That's not even close, up and away. 3-1. And Justin could be getting tired, quite frankly. Coming up is pitch number 100 for Justin Griffith. 3 balls and 1 strike. And Romero waits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Took a big hack and missed it. How ironic would it be if Griffith can pick up a strikeout in this inning? With 0 so far. And a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Challenged him with a changeup, and Griffith, or Romero, I should say, got a piece of it. So it stays at 3-2. Cook again off of first. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded sharply. The shortstop Guzman cannot get it. It's a base hit. Tried to backhand it. We'll score that a base hit as Guzman went for the backhand. And Romero reaches now first and second. Boy, nearly made that backhanded play. That'll bring up Andrew Iwanicki. Let's see if we have a pitching change here. Boy, that was so close there for Guzman. Iwanicki has popped out, grounded out, and walked. He could theoretically face this hitter, and perhaps another one. With a 13-5 lead and 1 out in the 7th. Yep, Griffith will stay in the game. He can definitely finish off this hitter, and again, we'll find out if he can go another. Iwanicki's pop out was to the third baseman Garrett in the first, and he grounded to Queen before he was issued a walk. Resurrection Christian just picked up their 5th hit of the game. Justin Griffith, lefty against lefty here in the 7th. Will settle back on the bump. He stretches. And the pitch. And that changeup is low. 1 ball and no strikes. He looks in. And the offering. And that's low again. Same location, same result. 2-0. Wooldridge is sitting over there at first base. He might be able to close this thing out. The pitch. That's down the middle for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. If he gets to 109, he can finish the next hitter off. Once he gets to 110 on this hitter, he can't face the next hitter. 2-0, 2-1, I should say, foul straight back. And now the count levels at 2-2 to Andrew Iwanicki. Big pitch coming up here for Griffith with 2 on. And the offering way outside, not even close. Kind of slipped off the mound there. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I think if he does not retire this hitter, it's going to be his last hitter. 3-2, and the offering. Swung on and popped up and out of play.
I got that one.
Stays at 3-2. Yeah, we all saw that one. Yeah. 3-2, pitch number 109 coming up. Here it is. Swung on and lined towards left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Romero is going to step on third, headed around third. Check that, that's Cook, and he will score. And he did step on third, as opposed to Romero earlier in the game. Iwanicki with an RBI single, and Resurrection Christian now makes it a 13-6 game. And we will have a pitching change brought to you by Greg Mona, State Farm Insurance. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. 842-4555. Now we'll find out who the new pitcher is for Brush. You still can't close the book on Griffith. The 2 runners are his responsibility out there. We'll find out here momentarily. It might be Carson Rule. It might just be a straight-up change. Center fielder for pitcher. Griffith is starting center fielder when he's not on the mound. Yeah, so it looks like Carson Rule will come into the game from center field, or will step to the mound, I should say, with 1 out, 1 across, and 2 on in the 7th. Carson Rule threw against Sterling in that 7th inning. He allowed 2 runs, but those were unearned. Another left-handed hitter out of the pen here for the Beet Diggers. There have been years the Beet Diggers didn't have any lefties, but they got Rule, they have Woolridge, and of course Justin Griffith. A nice balance here for Brush. Hayden Sievers will be the hitter for Resurrection, so they send up their best hitter coming up here once play does resume, with Brush up 13-6 here in the 7th inning. In a game that's approaching the, well, not quite at 2.5, 2:15 for now. And as you can tell, the wind is getting a little bit relentless, but this is tropical compared to what we saw in Brush for a couple of home games, and then against Wells Central for that game 2 weeks ago on St. Patrick's Day. 13-6 Beet Diggers. Carson Rule about to complete his warm-ups. And then we'll resume this game from Loveland. Again, the Beet Diggers are back in action on Tuesday at home against Platte Valley. And then we will be in Arvada. That should be a very interesting game next Saturday morning at 11 o'clock when the Beet Diggers take on Faith Christian. Very, very interesting game. Considering how well the Beet Diggers have been playing the last 2 games. So here we go, lefty against lefty. With first and second, and 1 out in the 7th. And what happened here? Are they walking him intentionally? Did they walk him intentionally? I guess so. I mean, Sievers had 2 base hits. It was hit by a pitch. but he's been walked intentionally to load the bases. Interesting strategy there. Pitch. That's a strike. Ethan Wheeler reached in an air, walked, and popped out. But, hey, Coach Fergus is very innovative. And that's not the first time you've seen that at any level. And the offering. And that's in the dirt from Carson Rule. 1 ball and 1 strike. So it shows that Rule has thrown 6 pitches. That's just because of this program. But he's thrown just 2. But that is an intentional walk that goes against the pitcher's record. The offering. Swung on and popped down the right side. And along the line is Josiah Henry. Can he see the baseball? He does not. And it drops foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Siebers has been very good his first 3 times up. And he also knows that Wheeler is 0 for 2. So I think he felt confident that Carson Rule, a control pitcher, would not be intimidated by a bases-loaded situation facing a hitter not as talented, at least in this particular game, not as statistically proficient in this game as Hayden Siebers. 0-2 pitch. Swung on. That's pop foul out of play. Count remains at 1-2. Correction there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, bottom 7. Brush leads Resurrection Christian 13-6. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. Up and away. 2-2. Not one Cougar is struck out in the game. Carson Rule trying for 1 right here against Ethan Wheeler. And the 2-2. Swung on and popped up into shallow right center field. Long run for Griffith into the gap. He makes the catch, tagging up from third and scoring easily to make it a 13-7 game is Romero. And Sawyer Shepard will step to the plate. All right. So it is a sack fly for Ethan Wheeler. The pitch swung on. That's popped out of play. No balls and 1 strike. No 0-1 here. Man, now this wind's moving things around. Swung on and popped foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Sawyer Shepard. Carson Rule attempted to close this out. The other runners, by the way, held up. No balls, 2 strikes to Shepard. The pitch, extremely high. I think he tried to throw a breaking ball, and I don't know what happened there, but it was very high. 1-2 here to Shepard. Runners take their leads. And the pitch. Curveball is upstairs. Yeah, this wind now is really kicking. I know I made reference to it multiple times, but it's taking effect right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in, 2 on. The pitch swung on. That ball is grounded left side for a base hit into left field. Let's see if the runner will hold at third, and that will be the case. Sawyer Shepard now has his 2nd hit of the game after doubling his first time up. And the bases are loaded again. And Zach Parrish will now hit. Parrish in the game is 0 for 3. All of them ground outs. Lefty against lefty, the pitch. A strike took something off it. Down the middle at the knees, it's 0-1. Brush leads by 6, 13-7. That's why those 3 runs were huge in the top of the 7th. I mean, a 10-7 game would look very, very tough right now. Swung on and fisted slowly in the air towards his shortstop, Guzman, and he steps on the bag for the force. It took a 2nd hop out there as the ball was diving towards the ground, and that's it. And the Brush Bee Diggers win the game 13-7. Resurrection Christian scores 2 runs in the 7th. We'll wrap it up after this. It's a 2-minute break. Brush 13, Resurrection Christian 7 on 1010 KSLR and KSLR.com. The Beet Digger post-game show is brought to you by Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center, your headquarters for your home farm and ranch supplies from plumbing to feed, with 3 locations to serve you, Sterling, Brush, and Fort Morgan. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center. As the Brush Beet Diggers, who began the season at 0-5, have now won 2 consecutive games. They defeat Resurrection Christian by a score of 13-7. 13 runs on 7 hits, 3 errors, 11 left on base for Brush. 7 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, and 6 left on base for Resurrection Christian. And the winning pitcher for the Beet Diggers, Justin Griffith. The loss went to Zach Parrish in relief. And let's see if we get a time of the game here. And the time of the game for the Beet Diggers here. And Resurrection Christian Cougars, 2 hours and 22 minutes. So a 2 hour and 22-minute game as the Beet Diggers were able to come away with a victory here at Resurrection Christian High School. All right, let's run through the scoring in this particular game because Brush was down early in this game, 3-0 in the second inning. As Resurrection Christian scored those runs and a double there by Sawyer Shepard. Then they kept it going. They did take advantage of a Beet Digger error. But then Brush did respond off Hayden Siebers in the top of the third and tallied 3 runs to tie this game. Ben Garrett with an RBI single. Gunnar Guzman reached on an air, driving in a run. And then you also had a 3rd run score as well in that 3rd inning on Hunter Ludgate's bases loaded walk, and Ludgate had a huge game as he was on base 5 times. He was issued 4 walks, and he had a 2-run double that we'll get to in a second, because the big inning for the Beet Diggers was that 5-run 4th inning. Carson Rule had an RBI single, giving Brush the lead that they would not relinquish. Ben Garrett with a bases loaded walk made it 5-3. Justin Griffith scored in a wild pitch, which he did again later in the game, and then Ludgate had that 2-run double, making it 8-3, and then the Beet Diggers would extend that lead a little bit later on to 10-3. And again, they benefited from wild pitches and walks and things like that as well. But again, they were able to get timely hits. And what was amazing about this game, as we mentioned before, the Beet Diggers at the plate struck out, I believe, let's see if that's, we'll get an official total. I believe I had said 14 times before. And yeah, Brush in the game did strike out, 14 times at the plate. And when you look at Resurrection Christian's totals, I mean, they did not have a single strikeout. 15 strikeouts, in fact. 15 Beet Diggers struck out in the game, and none for Resurrection Christian. But again, the Beet Diggers do pick up the 13-7 victory. Resurrection Christian drops to 4-3, and the Beet Diggers improve to 2-5. All right, the Beet Diggers are back in action coming up on Tuesday when they take on the Platte Valley Broncos and Brush. That game will start at 4 o'clock. We'll have it for you right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com. Outstanding job by our sound engineer and producer, Emily Hernandez. I'm John Beltran with a final score from Resurrection Christian High School in Loveland. Brush 13, Resurrection Christian 7 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.